you said you wanted to talk about seeing Croker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. That was, like, really upsetting. Like, Harold Ramis level upsetting on how much impact C. Martin Croker had on my childhood.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't consider it at the time, but, like, now that we've had a couple weeks to reminisce, and we watched a couple of Space Ghost episodes, and yeah, dude, I grew up with him as Zorak and Moltar for like a good long chunk of my youth, from like Space Ghost to I guess like the Brack Show on Adult Swim. That was like a good 5 or 6 years, not well on and off.
The Brack Show is in 2000.
When did it end?
2000.
Oh, no. Are you sure that's not the Brack Show starring Brack? Because there's 2 Brack shows.
Yes, it is.
He was on that too. Dude, the Brack presents the Brack Show starring Brack. Highly underrated. I wanted to find some of those for us to watch for C. Martin Croker.
Oh, he was in Perfect Her Forever. That was awesome. Tornado and Zorak. It's weird. The first credit on IMDb, it just says Cartoon Planet TV series 1997 to 98.
That was a cartoon too. Cartoon Planet was like this weird kind of musical show. It was made with like the same animation and stuff as like just reused animation, like with Space Ghost. It would come on because Space Ghost started as like a 10-minute show, like 10 or 11 minutes, commercial break, and then the second half will be Cartoon Planet, where it was like, it was reused animation, but it was supposed to be kind of like a variety show instead of a talk show. So you'd have the talk show Space Ghost, and then after that you'd have the variety like SNL kind of. I don't remember seeing it a lot because like the final season, I think, of Space Ghost was 20 minutes long. So they didn't have to do Cartoon Planet anymore. Huh. And then, like, once Space Ghost had enough episodes, instead of being Space Ghost and Cartoon Planet, they would just show 2 Space Ghosts.
Yeah.
Or they'd show Space Ghost and, like, just some short Looney Tunes or something. Because Cartoon Network had no idea what they did at night. I feel like there was an intern who just decided everything that goes on after, like, 8 p.m. Until that just turned into Adult Swim.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to watch the Brack Show, too.
Which one? I do want to show you...
Just the Brack Show.
Brack Presents the Brack Show. I just love that name. I was sold. Brack Presents the Brack Show, starring Brack! It was weird, too, because I had seen, like... I think it came out a little bit after Space Ghost went off the air, I think. You could correct me with all the actual dates. But then, like, hey, now we have, like, because basically Space Ghost only came on at night, like at midnight on Fridays for Cartoon Network. And then they tried to have the Brack Show, which was like, I guess, obviously by the same guys, but they were trying to make like a primetime Cartoon Network show. It's like the only time they tried that.
I don't remember this.
Maybe you didn't have cable at the time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, imagine, like, watching an hour of, like, Looney Tunes from, like, 11 to midnight, because that's all Cartoon Network had to show you, and then all of a sudden you'd see what you think is old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and then everything just starts getting real weird.
Yeah.
Especially, like, as a kid, and it feels like, am I supposed to be seeing these cartoons?
Like me, a lot of the jokes you don't get because it's too mature.
Just turns out they're dumb jokes. Like, it's not like this, especially compared to, like, this would air on any time on Cartoon Network at this point. Right? Like, nothing they did on Cartoon Planet was offensive or, except like a really bad cover of Bob Marley. That was the most offensive thing on the show. But like in those shows, you can see everything that was going to become Adult Swim, huh?
Definitely.
Well, when did you first learn of like Space Ghost or Adult Swim and the Brack Show and stuff?
I can't remember. It was a hard time for me in my life.
Bigger issues than cartoons at the time.
But it was definitely in I was in elementary school, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, I think I found out when I was 10 or 11. When I first saw Space Ghost. Anyway, Seymour and Croker did Zorak and Moltar. I always liked Moltar a lot.
Yeah.
I think because, when they would cut to him, he would always be watching something else on the monitor. He didn't even pay attention to the show.
Just watching TV.
I would always see... Oh, and that was where I would first see cool car crashes. Because, basically, Moltar, when they would cut to him, he's, watching, a car crash scene from, a TV show. I think Chips.
Yeah.
I guess because they just had the rights to show Chips. Yeah, I guess Turner. They probably own a lot of stock footage at this point. They did have an episode where Eric Estrada from Chips was on Space Ghost. And Moltar became a total fanboy. He kept, because he was backstage with Moltar. Moltar has him on his monitor instead of Space Ghost. And he's like, oh, do you remember that crash when you were trying to chase the... Yeah, Zorak stuck around a long time. Moltar was only on Space Ghost.
Yeah, because they'd have Zorak on the Brack show.
Both Brack shows.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know which Brack show I'm referring to.
It's all a blur. Well... Like I said, there was the Brack Presents the Brack Show starring Brack.
Which one was the
where he lived with his family?
Sitcom. Yeah.
That was the Brack Show.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was supposed to be a old-timey sitcom.
Well, now I'm not sure if I saw the Brack Presents one.
Probably not. Like you said, it ran from 2000 all the way until 2000. Yeah, after Space Ghost, they tried to do Brack Presents the Brack Show, which was...
The Brack Show was 2000 to 2003.
That was the Adult Swim one. Yeah, they tried to do a primetime regular Cartoon Network cartoon called Brack Presents the Brack Show.
That was... only in 2000.
Yeah. So almost nobody saw it. And then quickly after that, I guess Adult Swim came and they started all of their shows basically at once. C-Lab and Brack Show and whatever anime they started with.
You want to watch some of the Brack Presents one?
Let's see if we can find it. That one was really weird. Man, it would fit right in with weird Cartoon Network cartoons now. Oh yeah, he had a CD also. Alright, you think we've seen enough?
Yeah. It's pretty much over.
I get the idea. See, they tried to sell out for a bit. What if the Brack Show, starring Brack, took off and there'd be no Adult Swim? No, apparently this really terrible variety show with an incredibly low budget is what people want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, this is basically the equivalent of them doing a live variety show that wouldn't be funny.
Well, variety shows inherently can't be good because you're trying to here's something for these people, then here's something for a completely different audience.
No, the people that did this, they were playing to a specific audience, so maybe they're going for the stoners. I don't know. They must have been because they knew how to.
Yeah, because this would come on 7 or 8, a regular Cartoon Network cartoon. Did they? Were they talking to the they're pitching the show to the Cartoon Network executives? I swear, people are high at 8 p.m. You gotta trust us. They're not just high at night. Some old guy with a big beard. I don't know. I thought crazy people only come out at night.
These kids are unpredictable.
It's only got 12 p.m. on Fridays before that.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if that was it. Like, well, look at how terrible it is if we try to do a primetime show. So let's go back to midnight. It was like a reverse ploy. If Brack presents the Brack show starring Brack was bad enough, they could get their midnight shows. Anyway, Seymour and Croker was in all of them.
Yeah.
He did great with the material he was given.
That song was pretty badass.
I almost had a seizure. It was hard to focus.
Can't handle the rock.
Like, seriously, because we just watched Brack Presents the Brack Show starring Brack. I have to say the whole title because it's different from just, quote, the Brack Show, unquote.
Right.
But, like, for a primetime show, they really, like, they did clearly have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
But it was still an incredibly small budget. Like, it was probably double the budget of Space Ghost, and that's still crap.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's just like they didn't have anyone that knew how to draw. Like, I was willing to give them, like, artistic license until the shoe came out.
Then, I don't know what happened.
Then things really took a turn. But yeah, like, everyone, like, instead of, like, in Space Ghost or their eventual actual The Brack Show and Cartoon Planet, where they kind of just stay still and talk, like normal
Characters.
Yeah, like normal characters on shows.
Yeah.
Like, apparently in the Brack Show, I feel like one of the, like, Cartoon Network executives was like, there's not enough movement. We gotta get children to watch. You gotta be moving. You gotta move around. So they're like, fine. So, like, everything on the screen is constantly moving, especially Brack.
They're paying for animation. They want to see some...
Brack dances through the entire episode. Except when he's swinging on a rope or exploding.
He does like to dance.
So, Seymour and Croker was great.
He will be missed.
Definitely. I saw a surprising amount of people change their images to, like, Moltar or Zorak. That was nice.
Never liked Moltar. I don't know why.
Because I just said I liked them like 5 minutes ago.
I never would have guessed they were voiced by the same guy.
Yeah, so the one we watched them when they were both fired and hanging out in the commissary. I really hope he did that one part in one take where he's like, where they were just saying words at each other.
No, because like when they get to the end, they start like barking at each other. And it like crosses over.
I just imagine like he did that in one take. It was hilarious.
How did he do that? He was literally two people.
Alright, so rest in peace, Seymour and Croker. He was on shows that changed the direction of animation.
Definitely.
Without...
And for cartoon comedy.
And space comedy.
Well, yeah.
And he was an excellent musician.
You can see the seedlings of Futurama in there.
Well, yeah, like I think a lot of people that are in animation now probably saw quite a bit of Space Ghost and the Brack Show and possibly Cartoon Planet or Brack Presents the Brack Show starring Brack.
Yeah.
That's our retrospective of Seymour and Croker, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening to the Bystanders Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/GameMusicForAll. You can find links and show notes from today's episode at thebystanderspodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at The Bystanders Podcast and on Twitter at TBS Podcast. And you can support the show by subscribing to us at patreon.com/JunoBoots.